Oh yeah. Okay. I decided today I would talk about writer's block. I don't know why. Actually, I was going to talk about attention deficit disorder. Now, they're saying this device here is supposed to help people with attention deficit disorder by helping them concentrate. Okay, now I'm going to try on another hat. I was coming up in the elevator and I had a brainstorm. I think that's what you call it. And also the weather outside, you know, it looks like we might be getting some rain, might be getting some of that stuff, you know, little few droppers, you know, come up from Texas. I know they're having a lot of trouble down there right now. It's really no joke. I'm going to try on another hat. Okay, I got this green hat. This is about the best baseball cap I have. And I like the color. It sort of matches my coat. Of course, it might go good with the blue that I'm wearing. And I don't know why I'm wearing a hat in the house. What was I thinking about? I forgot what I was thinking about. You know I was coming up on the elevator, and I was gonna write a story. Then I thought, well, that's interesting. You know, I can come up with the title for the story, you know, the concept, the original, you know, the rough draft right up in here. And then, you know, because I was having this terrible brainstorm, I don't know if you call it a storm, more like a tornado. And I thought, oh, speaking of tornadoes, red tornadoes, that's the name of the local football game, the football team. And their colors are red, and they have a little white, you know, a little red and white. They call them the Red Tornadoes from Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. And I used to be a cameraman years ago. We're talking about 47 years or more, back in the 1970s when I was 18 years old. I was behind the camera. And I was out of school. I quit, you know, I had enough of it. I forgot, I had the scanner on there. I should have shut it off before I went on here, you know. And I have it back there. I'm going to put another hat on. And now I shut it down. Move the chair up a little bit here, maybe move it over. Oh, you can actually move the camera if you want it to, you know, but I like to slide around on a chair. You know, I'm making a mistake here. I don't know, maybe I should be looking off to the side. No. Which way? All right. The idea is not to look right into the camera. I know this. You know how I know this? I'll tell you. I was getting interviewed, and it was kind of a spare of the moment thing. It says, what do you know about fly ash? And it's a subject that's related to the coal regions here. They're starting to fill in these old mine pits with stuff called, what the hell, it's some kind of ash. I don't know if they call it, yeah, fly ash, but the bad stuff is called red ash. I'm not saying that all red ash has a lot of poison in, but it's a good chance that it has like a bunch of old tires and stuff. the monitor on this thing just went kaput. It's sort of like, I guess after it's on for a while, just like the one on the computer over there. Matter of fact, that one went on to blink too. So when one does it, the other one does it, I think. At least it's been my experience. Yeah, so I'm coming up on the elevator, and I was thinking, people with attention deficit disorder, they never get writer's block. Now, that's not true, because I used to say, well, I'm going to write about something, and I'd say, well, you have to have a subject. And I go, I just can't think about anything. And so, I would have writer's block. But the way my mind works, there's always something on my mind. Like somebody says, what's on your mind? And I'll go, nothing. Somebody will say, how you doing? Same old, same old. Which means, I guess, same thing, same day, everything's the same. I guess I can get rid of this hat. Throw it over there. Still got my toy here. It's almost time that I quit, quit this stuff. Let's see what it looks like. There you go. I could do this all day, just, put it in front of the camera, Yeah. I'm looking out the window. It's almost like a fall day. We're getting pretty close to the fall. And I've been looking out the window at the clouds. I mean, if there's any UFOs out there, of course, I'll see them. And it's interesting. But I was about to sit down, and I said, I got the title of a couple different stories, And it's not hard to write a story. You come up with an idea. I guess they call it, you just take notes, just what it is. Then you start telling a story. But the next thing to remember is to have your story in order, because what came first. So you gotta put it in order. And there's people who always appreciate that when you're writing a story that everything's in order, or you get red marks on the paper. It's scary. I mean, I went to college for a while, community college, of course. Anybody can get in. They don't lock the door. It was loads of fun. I had nothing better to do, so, I was getting a free education. I don't know who was paying for it, It was one of those things where, oh, you can go to college. I knew that for like about, somebody used to go for about 18 years. As long as they could pass a course, they take another course. Of course, they were, they had their handicaps and stuff, like overweight and whatever it was. And one particular person I know went for 18 solid years to college. I mean, taking about 3 courses a year, which you didn't go the whole year. You went a semester, I guess, which is probably about 3 months. I don't know. I have no idea. But this new device here, I got a good deal on it. I ain't going to tell you any more about it, because the place that was selling them is not selling them. It was one of those places, what comes off the truck comes off the truck, and just let it go at that. You ask them, of course, the same question: are you getting any more of these things? And they say, whatever comes off the truck. Well, these are fun. You can't get any information on. There's lots of videos on the internet with these things on, but none of them, really show you anything. I mean, there's some, people find things to do with them. Of course, you have something that keeps moving around and around because it's on ball bearings. It works pretty good. Now, my idea was that I could write a title to a story, and maybe a brief description about what the story is about. Now, I may not be thinking the same thing somebody else is thinking about, but let's say we were talking like I have a golf ball. I found some golf balls and I was thinking of, maybe learning to play golf or take up miniature golf or something. Well, I'm sure there's people out there that play miniature golf and they could tell some, I could start off with a story, and that's the idea that I'm throwing something at you, an idea, and you write a story. I don't really like to write a story. In the first place, I don't know how to type. I was self-taught. I had a program that was on a computer, and I was learning how to type, and then this was, one of these paid program things. You put the CD in. Well, I didn't own the CD. It wasn't at my place. It was at the place where you could go in and use this stuff. Anyway, I've been talking here, and there's no need for me to go on anymore. I might come up with something later, but I love some people that get on here and they're very confident, and they start the thing without any concept of what they're going to talk about. And it gets crazy because they make a couple of mistakes because they don't know what they're talking about, Now me, I'm just talking about anything and everything, and some of it might translate into nonsense for certain people. But some people can follow me. Now, I've known some people they'd say to me, what are you talking about? They said, a couple of minutes ago you were talking about the Civil War, and now you're talking about people living up in Alaska, and northern exposure and, different things. But I'm going to call it quits now. But I got this new device, and, it's going to help me with my attention deficit disorder. Whee!